Hello, gorgeous soul. Welcome to your July horoscope. Oh my goodness, it is a pivotal, extremely important month for our future. And that is because the North and South nodes are changing sign. Now, the North node has been in stable Taurus. We've been looking for security. We've wanted to lay foundations. We've been examining the abundance in our life and heading towards that. And now the North node is going into fiery and independent Aries. So we're like, rah, I want to express my individuality. I want to forge ahead with my passion. Now the South node, which is where we're coming from, is going into Libra. It was in Scorpio, which is all about letting go of our obsessions. And it's now in Libra. And that's about balance and injustices. We may be looking back to some injustices in our lives. We may want to find our balance, but in a new way, which fundamentally supports us as individuals. So it's about us and me and finding the balance between those two, but fundamentally going towards our unique soul. Also this month we have Venus, the planet of love, in Leo, which has been in for some time, going retrograde, going backwards. We're finding ourselves, we're finding our passion, we're finding our pride and our generosity of spirit. It is a big old month. Here's your monthly astrology. Hey Scorpio, there's a massive energy shift for you this month. We have had the South Node in your sign for 18 months, and that might have brought up a lot of issues for you. You might be thinking about yourself, your nature, your life in the past. You may have felt a bit stuck in the past. There may have been things that you've been working on that are very intense and very deep. Now, things are shifting, things are changing, and you're able to really feel a lot more kind of spiritual and reflective. And in fact, your intuition might end up being super, super strong. Now is, for the next 18 months, it's time for you to look after yourself, to look at your physical, mental health and well-being, and to really evaluate how much you take care of yourself and use that energy the next 18 months to really look after yourself, mind, body and soul. And talk to yourself as if you're your own best friend in those areas. You might change patterns, you might change habits, you might be doing something, but whatever it is, it's an investment in your future. It's an investment in your destiny. Taking care of minute details in general, being very analytical about your life is very, very helpful for you now. And you might also find yourself working or doing a job where you feel fulfilled. It might not even be the best paid job in the world, but you feel that you're doing something important. You're doing something that makes your heart sing. You're doing something important that makes you feel good about yourself, and you love it. But whatever it is, it brings meaning to your life, and that's something that's of extraordinary relevance over the next 18 months. How much meaning do you have in your life now? What would bring more meaning into life? You're reinventing yourself in many, many ways over the next 18 months, and it starts now. As I say, you can look back to 2004 to 2006. That was the last time it was there, if you're old enough. And now you're at the next level of whatever was going on for you then. Did you go through any big changes then? Did you feel more fulfilled in yourself? You're heading back to it. Now, Venus, the planet of love, is the other big transit of this month. And it's for you, it's around your career zone. So you have the opportunity to transform your career in some way. Maybe there's already been some changes, or you're falling in love with what you do again. You might be thinking about going back to a job you had in the past, or a career you had in the past, or something you loved in the past that you felt was connected to your reputation, your sense of purpose in the world, may be coming back to you. But let's start at the beginning. The first is a very powerful day. And it gives you an opportunity to have a bit of fun, to be optimistic, to have an adventure. You're feeling quite emotionally open around the first, with the sun joining forces with Mercury, and Mercury sextile Jupiter. It's like, yes, I am opening my arms to possibility. The full moon is also bringing about very interesting conversations. You might be reflecting on where you want to live in the world. If there's something you want to study, you have got a lot to say. And there are a lot of interesting thoughts flying through your mind on that full moon. Mars is entering Leo and making you very, again, optimistic and wanting to get out and about, mix with people, network. You'll go, 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 but it involves other people from the 10th of July. And normally, if you're a typical Scorpio, there are times when you want to mix with people, but generally you like to be alone or be with and in more smaller groups. But connecting with people could be very, very positive. Also, you might have arguments with groups of people. It may be that you're very political after the 10th and you're like, right, I've got a lot to say about what's going on in the world. But with Mercury entering Leo on the 11th, keep pushing for things connected to your career. And also when the sun enters Leo, you're like shining your light in that area. Adventure, travel, exploring, a hot date with a partner or friend that involves travel as well, all are very, very positive for you. And with the new moon in Cancer on the 17th, it's like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? It's time to stretch your boundaries, gallop to new horizons, open your heart up to the possibilities in the world. If you haven't been having adventures, if you haven't been exploring and learning, this new moon is going to say, come on now, it's a new start in that area. The North Node, which is telling you, okay, look after yourself, look for meaning in your life, kicks off on the 18th. And you are still exploring ways to change, just all this month and for the next 18 months. You're dreaming as well about how you can bring your creativity into the world more, how you can be, maybe you're like want to be more affectionate, more open, more romantic, more expressing your feelings on the surface, and it's something that you've not been comfortable with before. But now you're feeling like, yes, I'm going to have the self-confidence to express what I feel, and that's very, very positive. When we move into Leo season, you're more about, less about adventure and more into your career. But there's a lot of opportunities with other people. A little word of warning, Chiron, the wounded healer, is going retrograde, it's going backwards. If there have been self-destructive habits or patterns, or you're not taking care of yourself, then those issues might come up for you. But on this occasion, it's coming up for you to show yourself that you're a different person and that you are deeply healing and that you are more than capable of changing your habits and patterns for yourself. Not because anyone else tells you to, but for yourself. There's a strong layer of self-love and courage this month. Take care, gorgeous, and I'll speak to you soon. So why do we at Michele Knight give you a 5-minute, no questions asked guarantee? Well, our psychics are some of the very best in the world. They are handpicked. They have 5 rigorous test readings, the final one with me, and I require very detailed information, things they couldn't possibly know just by looking at Google or social media. We want you to be totally blown away by your reading, to feel that you've chosen a psychic who you can bond with, who gets you and gives you such specific information you feel completely reassured. If this doesn't happen within the first 5 minutes, don't be shy, just put down the phone and your minutes will be topped up or refunded. Your reading should be uplifting, full of clarity and advice, and leave you empowered to make the right decisions for you. We want Michele Knight to be your spiritual home.